lovely people, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate you watching, sharing, liking and commenting. God bless you. Today I want us to discuss something that bothers a lot of youth, a lot of people, even some people who are old and they are still facing that kind of challenge, and that is self-confidence. And so I want us to talk about low self-confidence, low self-esteem and all that. There are a lot of people with capabilities, abilities, but because they lack self-confidence, they are not able to come out and utilize these skills and abilities that they have. Some are under the carpet there, just like that. Today we want to look at it, and this video is going to be in two forms. This is the part one. In the part one, we are going to look at what self-confidence is and what self-confidence isn't. Now we're also going to look at, when we talk of low self-esteem or low self-confidence, what is it all about? We're also going to look at factors that contribute to low self-esteem, parental role in low self-esteem, and societal role in low self-esteem. So these are the things we are going to have some points before me that we are going to discuss and share. So as you are watching me, if you also have some points, let's discuss it together. Therefore, if you are watching me and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing and let's do this together. And so when we talk of low self-esteem or when we talk of self-confidence, what is it about? But before we look at what self-confidence is all about, we are going to look at what self-confidence isn't. But there are some people who mistake certain attitude or certain behaviors as self-confident, but in actual sense, they are not self-confident. One, self-confidence isn't about being abusive. So if you are an abusive person, it doesn't mean you are self-confident. No. And so do not mistake your attitude of being abusive as a sign of being confident. No. Disrespecting. If you can disrespect people, if you have the ability of disrespecting people, looking down upon people, it doesn't mean you have self-confidence. Not at all. And another point is bullying. Some people can bully you with words. They can bully you and make you look so bad and intimidate you. If you are such a person, it does not mean you are self-confident. Self-confidence isn't about criticizing. Some people can criticize you, everything you do. They will look at the bad and criticize you and make you look bad. If you are that kind of person, you don't have self-confidence. That thing, criticizing people, especially in the negative way, isn't a sign of self-confidence. Over-controlling. There are people who are over-controlling. They want to control your life. They don't want to give you breathing space. Everything they want to control. If you are that person, then that thing isn't a sign of self-confidence. Always knowing the answer and being right. They are never wrong. They will never accept their mistakes. They are always right. If you have that attitude, it is not a sign of self-confidence. And so you might be in that kind of shoes and you think, me, I'm confident, I'm bold. No, that isn't a sign of boldness or confidence. No. Rather, we have some people who have inferiority complex. And as a result of inferiority complex, they tend to exhibit some of these attitudes that make them think that they are self-confident. Because they themselves, they don't like their height, they think it's being over control, that will make them feel good. Because they themselves, they don't appreciate their looks, they don't appreciate their mindset, they don't appreciate certain things about them. They think they need to criticize others. So the more they criticize you, they feel good about themselves. And so if you are in that kind of shoe, you are suffering from inferiority complex, and you need to deal with it in a positive way. Rather, you are dealing with it in the negative way. And so we have said a lot. What is self-confidence? When we talk of self-confidence, it's a state of being clear-headed that something is correct. You know that A is A, B is B. You know what you are talking about because you have evidence to prove that what you are saying is right. You are sure about it. That is what self-confidence is about. Being sure about yourself, being sure about your skills, being sure about what you know. Self-confidence is the attitude about your skills, your abilities. You know that I have skill in sewing, and so you are confident about it, that these are my skills, and so I'm going to develop towards them. Self-confidence is about knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And so if you are someone who don't accept your weaknesses, or you don't know what your weaknesses are, then it means you lack self-confidence. Because if you have self-confidence, you will know your weakness. You know that I am weak in this. And so when they bring you a project where you know you are weak in it, you will comfortably and confidently say that I am not good at this. This person is rather good at it, so give it to this person to do. You know your strength, and so you develop your strength. People who do not accept their wrongs are people who lack self-confidence, and so they always want to hide behind being defensive and thinking that they are confident or they are bold. No. Confidence is about accepting and trusting yourself. Accept yourself. This is me. I'm a fat person, but it doesn't mean I cannot do this. Yes, I'm a short person. This is me. That is how God created me. I cannot change it, but it doesn't mean I cannot do this. Self-confidence is about having control in your life, not about having control in other people's life. No. And so if you cannot control your own life, but you go about over-controlling others, then you lack self-confidence. Do you get it? And so you can control you can tell that this is right, this is not right. I'm going for this because it's right. This is not right. I'm not going for this. Okay, you can control what you say. And so when you are given the opportunity to talk in public, you have control over it. You have control over things that concerns you. Can take your own decisions. That is self-confidence. Capable of setting realistic goals. Oh, I need to do this. Okay, this week, this and this and this is what I need to achieve. And those things he's setting, they are realistic, not just some daydreaming where they will say something they know this one is not achievable. But they say those things and set those goals just to feel good about themselves. No. But self-confidence person is able to set realistic goals and is able to capable of achieving them. Even if not all, will be able to achieve most of them. Self-confidence is also about being able to communicate assertively. Oh, please. No, you know what you are saying, and so you are confident about it. You are sure about it. You speak, and you speak with some strength. It's not about trying to force your way through by force, even if it's not right. You are trying to open your eyes and then let people believe and trust. No, but you're able to communicate with that kind of surety that, yes, I'm sure. I know what I'm talking about. Self-confidence is about handling criticism, being able to handle criticism. And so if you are there and because you are scared of people will criticize you, and so something that you need to do, you will not do because you are afraid that someone will criticize me, someone will say, they will say if I make a mistake, people will laugh at me. No, it means you lack self-confidence, and there are a lot of young people in that. Now, when we talk of self-esteem and self-confidence, the differences are slight. One has influence on the other, and that is your self-esteem is going to tell your self-confidence. And so when we talk of self-esteem, it's having confidence. So you see, when you are explaining self-esteem, you find confidence in it. It's having confidence in yourself or abilities, evaluation of your own worth, knowing your worth. This is where I'm good at, and I'm doing it well. Not when they ask you, what is your worth? You can't even tell your worth. And because you don't know your own worth, you allow yourself to be abused verbally, emotionally, sexually. This man is taking you for granted. And because you don't know your self-worth, you sit there for him to take you for granted. This woman always look down upon you and insult you because you don't know your self-worth. You sit there and you receive it like that. Beliefs about oneself, the beliefs you hold about yourself. Me there, I am not good. Oh, as for me, I am bad. Oh, as for me, I can't do this. Oh, as for me, no. This is the belief you have about yourself, and because of that, when the opportunity comes for you to do something, you are not able to. Why? Because you believe yourself that you are not good. You can't do anything. Let me share one story. I remember when I had to learn how to sew. I wanted to use 3 months to learn how to sew. I had a lot of people telling me, you can't do it. It's not possible. But me, when I look with it, 3 months I can do it. So the more they were saying you can't do it, I told them, me, I will do this. I will use 3 months to learn, and I will shock all these people. And you know, when I said it, within 2 months, I was able to sew. Not that I was able to sew perfectly, but I was able to get all the basics, something that someone would use 1 year, 2 years to learn. I was able to learn those things, basics, within 2 months. That the woman who was teaching me, I stopped going to her and I was doing things by myself. That is it. You know yourself. You have positive beliefs about yourself. And so you don't allow people to talk you down. When we talk of self-esteem, we're also looking at your emotional state, such as despair, triumph, pride, and shame. And so your emotional state, how you're able to handle things emotionally. Are you the one who always get despair? Every little things you are quelled in, you are sad, you are this, you can't come out. No, emotionally you are weak. You go out there and somebody give a bit of negative comment, it affects you the whole day. Your mood will be so bad. Or your self-esteem is that kind of type that you are full of pride, that even if something is not good about you, you are full of pride and you are not able to humble yourself. These two things, full of pride and always being like this, shows how poor your self-esteem is. If you know your self-worth, it will increase your confidence level, that you will be able to stand up for yourself and not allow anyone to talk you down. We have said a lot, and what we have said, you can get some points in that shows low self-esteem, but we are going to stress on it more. When we talk of low self-esteem or low self-confidence, we are talking of full of self-doubt. There are people who doubt themselves. They have no trust in themselves. They are always negative about themselves. As I said, always looking bad. As for me, I am not good. Yes, it is true that you need to accept your weaknesses, but it does not mean that let those weaknesses weigh you down. But you accept those weaknesses, then you work on it. I am not good in this. So what do I do to become good? Trust issues. People with trust issues, they are suffering from low self-confidence. They can't trust anything. And so anything they will try to sit down and find, hey, this person, the way she smiled to me, it means this. It means she doesn't like this thing. Even if someone is complimenting something good you did, you don't trust it. Because you yourself, when you doubt yourself, so when somebody compliments, oh, you did well in your presentation, you want to laugh at me, you want to look down upon me, and so you don't even trust the good things people say about you. Rather, you always look at the negative. So you have trust issues, inferiority complex. People who always look at themselves as inferior, and so all the time they can stand in the mirror and talk bad about their shape, talk bad about themselves. They don't see anything good about them. And such people, they can't thank God, because all the time all that they look at is negative. They have nothing to thank God about. So if you have inferiority complex, learn to deal with it. But in dealing with it, deal with it in a positive way. Very sensitive to criticism. And so anyone who is sensitive to criticism, as I said, have problem with low self-esteem and need to deal with it. Also, being passive and submissive. Because you have low self-confidence or low self-esteem, you accept anything. Anyhow people treat you, people talk bad about you, you accept it. Somebody can call you fool, you just accept it. Me, I'm a fool. He treats you anyhow, she treats you anyhow, and you accept it. And you think it's a sign of submissiveness. There are people who are accepting abuse, thinking that they are submissive, they are respectful. No. If someone is abusing you emotionally, verbally, and you are quiet and receiving it, it doesn't mean you are submissive. But rather, it shows that you have low self-esteem. You have low self-confidence in yourself. That is why you will sit there for another human being to abuse you emotionally, abuse you verbally, abuse you physically, and think that that's cool. Let's look at parental role in low self-esteem. In our African culture, it doesn't allow children to talk. So when children are hurting, when children are going through a lot of pain, they keep within. So let's look at some of the things that our parents do that affect the self-esteem or self-confidence of some children. Unsupportive parents. There are parents who are never supportive. And when we are talking of supportive, being supportive, it's not just about giving money to your children, paying their school fees, but also supporting them emotionally, talking to them about things concerning them. There are some parents, all that they know is, I've given you food, I've given you clothes, I've bought this for you, that is all. They don't sit to discuss issues about their kids. Even when the children themselves go out of their way to bring out things that bothers them, parents shows unconcern. And when it happens like that, it affects the confidence level of the child, because it gets to a point the child can't even talk about his pain or her pain or the things he or she is going through. Some kids, they have some school competition. Instead of the parents to be there to cheer them up, the parents will not be there. And so whatever the child is doing, they don't care. Some kids after exam, they bring their report and parents will not even comment, oh, you did well. I remember me when I was in school, I wasn't a good student. And one of the things that my mom did that I'm always proud of is, she always, Mommy, you get there, okay? You get it. Don't worry. Even though the result is so poor, so bad, my mom will always give me that kind of assurance that, don't worry, you get there. Do you get it? And so parents, or even the academics, where they do well, you don't even seem to make them feel good. Rather, hey, today you had A. Are you sure you didn't copy? Hey, are you sure someone didn't do this work for you? And so all the time, the child is feeling bad. Abuse. Some parents abuse their kids with words. Look at you, ugly. Look at your legs. Look at your face. They insult them, abuse them verbally, and because of that, these kids sees themselves as nothing good in them. A child cannot even do something. Hey, what do you know how to do? What are you good at? Come on, leave it there before you spoil something. Let me come and do my own thing. And so you don't give the child a chance to do something in the house. And when they go out there at church, when kids are out there reciting here and there, you want that child to also go and recite. No, it will not happen. Compare these kids with other children, other people's children, and make their kids feel bad. And most of you parents, your kids cannot stand up for themselves in public because in the house, you do not allow them to stand up for themselves. When two siblings do something, you listen to the other. The one is going to keep quiet. Did I ask you to talk? Keep quiet. And so all the time, the child can't talk. When the child mess up something, instead of the child is going to explain him or herself, instead of giving the child a chance to explain, keep quiet, they will beat you. They say, don't cry. Child doesn't cry. Hey, that child is stubborn. Excessive control. Some parents will control everything about their children. Some children cannot even decide, I want to wear this. When it's time for church, if mom does not say wear this, you can't wear. One thing parents, you need to know is that dressing, when kids look good and they feel good about their dressing, when they go out there, it increases their confidence level. And so they are able to mingle with friends and feel good. But when they don't feel good about their dressing, they go out there and they quell themselves. They can't talk because we have all been kids before, so we know these things. And so let's not control even their career. Some kids are someone said in the university, she read political science. And she actually didn't want to read political science. She wanted to read social studies. And so while we were talking, she said, my sister bought the forms and she chose political science for me. That is not even what I wanted to read. I wanted to read social studies. But she chose it for me and said it's good, I should go and read. We take over all that. And so kids complete school. And what they have studied in school, they cannot confidently work with it because parents do not give them the chance to choose their own career. Decision, they can't make decision about anything about themselves. Divorce is one of the things which also affects the confidence level of kids, because at the end of the day, two parents are not together to plan for the future of that child. And so the child doesn't know, mommy is saying this, daddy is saying this. None goes to mommy is not ready to listen. He or she goes to daddy is not ready to listen. And so the child is living anyhow. Also, parents, your relationship in the house also can kill the confidence level of a child. Parents who don't respect themselves. Always, when a child does something, that your stupid father. Oh, that your stupid mother. And all that. Societal role in self-esteem. In so many societies, a person's worth is determined by their talents, gifts, appearance, and so forth. And so, if you are good at singing, can sing to move the world, that is when the world will see that, you are good, you have some worth in you. Society have placed some value on appearance. And so, it is only when you have this size of ass, backside, you have this size of breast, your stomach is this way, that is when you are beautiful. And so if a young lady does not find herself in that situation, it means she's not beautiful. And so she always looks down upon herself. And because of that, there are people out there with capabilities, who can do good things, who can do things that can move the world. But because of society way of showing that you are beautiful, society way of appearing, these people are hiding and they are quelled within because they don't appear this way, because they don't have this kind of skill. Society thinks that it is when you become a doctor, a lawyer, a magistrate, that means you are successful. And so someone who couldn't go to the university to become that is a no. I remember during my first degree, a coursemate, roommate, you see, my coursemate, her roommate, she has this kind of ideology that special education is for people who are not good. Special education is for people who are sick. And so my friend is very beautiful, and the roommate was asked her, what program are you reading? She said, I'm reading special education. A beautiful girl like you reading special education. Me, I am reading French, English, I'm reading this. And so they've put value on those ones. And so special education, things concerning individuals with disabilities, no. And a beautiful girl like you. This is the reply I gave her to give the friend. Tell her, yes, a beautiful girl like me, I am reading special education. And that is because people like you have special needs that you don't know. So I'm reading special education so that I can help people like you with this kind of mentality, thinking that special education, things that has to do with individuals with disability, it's not good for someone who is beautiful to study that program or that course. Then it means you, that person, intellectually, you have problem. And so you need special educator in your life. And that silenced her. And so we have placed value, society has placed value on certain things that people who are not in that category are not respected. And also the concept we have about ourselves, it's usually influenced by how people see us and what people say about us. And so we only believe that we are beautiful when someone says you are beautiful. And so because someone says you are ugly, you have also accepted that and you are living with it. Because someone says you are poor, you have also accepted that and you are living with it. Because someone says you are not good at it, you have also accepted that, and because someone said you can't do it, you've also accepted that. And you walk around thinking, me, I can't do it, or me, I'm poor, me, I'm ugly, me, I'm this. No. I remember growing up, I went out with my mother and to visit a friend as a child. I think I was around the age of either 13, 14 then. And when we go to my mother's friend's shop, she looked at me and said, you are ugly, Papa. Even your brothers are beautiful than you. And at that age, I think I was around the age of 12. Those statements of that woman, that statement from that woman worked on me so much, and it caused me a lot. My mom didn't even know. I was walking around with in my mind, in my heart, in everything, I saw myself to be ugly. I am not beautiful because of that statement from that woman. And so I will always sit. The only thing I take pleasure in is my pictures. And that is why I love taking pictures. It's one of the reasons that boosted my picture taking. I always look at my picture, I am photogenic, but I'm not beautiful physically. And so all the time, I saw myself to be ugly because of that statement from that woman. When I go to school, among friends, they are playing, I cannot even join them because I felt I'm ugly. They are beautiful than me. And so all the time, I am called within. All the time I am called within. And so these are some of the things we do to kids to kill their self-esteem. Even at church, I could not even come out to show what I'm capable of. And so it took me a long while. In the next video, I'm going to share with you how I was able to overcome this kind of low self-confidence, this kind of mindset that this woman put in me, and that, or even excess. After excess, I still had that thought that I'm ugly, I am not good in any way. And so I cannot even stand out there and do something because I saw myself to be ugly. Effect of low self-esteem. I think from the discussion, I've said a lot of these effects of low self-esteem. Because of that, you are not confident, you can't go out there. relationship issues, difficult in making friends. You can't make friends like me. I find it difficult going out there. How to make friends with people, because I always see myself to be ugly and bad. I cannot even mingle with people. Negative moods such as sadness, shame, anxious, and anger. You are always angry at yourself. You are always sad. You when people are happy, you just isolate yourself, go and sit somewhere and feel sad about yourself, and you expect people to come up and cheer you up when you can do that for yourself. I was once like that, but as I said, in the next video I'm going to share with you how by the grace of God I was able to come out of that poor body image. All the time you see yourself as ugly, and so something good something beautiful you can use for yourself, you won't even use. And at times, when you want to deal with it, you deal with it in the negative way and tense up and end up using things you don't need to use on yourself, all because you want to look beautiful. Earlier sexual activity, because you think you are ugly. When a man talks to you and compliments you a little, you give in sexually because you think, that is where you can feel important. It is when I give him sex that I know that I'm also important. I have something good to give. And so a lot of young people having sex early because they don't see their self-worth. And so at the early stage, they just give in. And all because someone out there says something to them. All because in the house, parents don't let them feel good about themselves. Drug abuse. A lot of people are drug addicts, not because they want to, but because they never had that confidence. So they think, oh, when I drink alcohol, that's when I can go and stand there and talk. When I smoke weed, I'll become confident enough. And so they indulge in those things and they become abusive. And the last word is abusive. There are people who are very abused. They can abuse you verbal. Here, there are people, they can abuse you for you to realize, yes. Physically, they abuse. They can abuse you emotionally, all because they themselves, they don't see their worth. And so they always think that the only way they can feel important is to say something hurtful to someone. So when they are able to hurt you with your words, that is when they feel good about themselves. That is when they see that, yes, I'm also important. When they're able to beat you, when they're able to be that narcissist in your life, that is when they feel good about themselves. Low self-esteem can also lead to depression. You always see yourself bad, always sad within, and you are depressed. You don't see anything good about yourself. When you sit, all that you think about yourself is negative. So you are always depressed. Somebody says something out there, even the person is not referring to you, you accept it and you become depressed. You think that the person is talking about you. Eating disorders. Some people, low self-esteem or low self-confidence make them eat. So they are depressed. They can't think through, and so they resort to eating. They open the fridge, anything they want to eat. And that one also affects your body. Blaming others for their mistakes. When you have low self-esteem, they always blame other people for their mistakes. They are not able to accept their mistakes and work at it. But rather they do what? They blame other people. Feeling unloved. All the time they feel, me, they are not loved. Nobody loves me. And so when you have low self-esteem, you always feel that people don't like you. People don't. So when you call someone, the person doesn't pick, you think the person hates you. When you expect this person to do this for you and the person doesn't do it, you think the person doesn't love you. And so all the time, you are always becoming the victim. Meanwhile, you are not the victim. Self-esteem can also affect your level of motivation and interest. And so all the time, you are not motivated to take up challenge and do something. You want to read masters? Hey, me, even the first degree, the way I struggled before I was completing, and I should go, me, I can't do masters. So you can't even motivate yourself to do it. Can't deal with frustration. And so when a bit of frustration comes, you become so burdened, you become so sad. It's like the whole world is falling on you, all because of your low self-confidence. Self-esteem is taking the best out of a lot of young people and a lot of people. And a lot of us, we are also the reason why some people, their confidence level is very low. We are the reason why that person refused to go to school. Because of something you say, you are the reason why someone could not take up that challenge and do. You are the reason why that someone refused to stand in the public and perform. A lot of us, our words, our actions are affecting people negatively. And so some of us, we have relegated some people to the background because of their disability, because they cannot see the way you see, because they cannot hear the way you hear or talk the way you talk. We tend to look down upon them, kill their self-confidence. These are few that I've shared with you about what self-confidence is about and what self-confidence is not about. And I know there are a lot of you out there struggling with self-confidence, struggling to find yourself, what you are good at, what can I do? So this visual arts, can I do it? When I say I'm going to read visual arts, my parents will say it means mabon, it means I'm poor. When I say I want to read home econs, I want to do dressmaking, I want to do this, they will say I'm blockheaded. That is why I'm choosing that course. So no, a lot of us are struggling with this, and I know a lot of you young people out there, you are struggling with finding yourself. You have low self-esteem, your confidence level are very low, and you don't know how to deal with it. Watch out for the next video. The part 2 of this video, I'm going to teach you how to deal with your low self-confidence, how to come out of your shell. Just as I did, I was able to come out of my own shell and be able to stand out there, show your skills, show your abilities, be able to go for what you want. This is what I want to do. Be able to go for it without being afraid, without allowing anyone to relegate you to the background. So much for spending time with me. Share with me, what do you also think? What are some of the points concerning low self-esteem and low self-confidence? Let's do this together. Thanks. God bless you for watching. God bless you for sharing. God bless you for commenting. And God bless you for liking. Have a blessed day. And hey, do not allow anyone to relegate you to the background. Bye-bye.